Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So I'm going to go ahead and read the comments of this video this upcoming Saturday. I have another video that I'm going to put out tomorrow. So this is my last video of the year. And tomorrow's video that I've got ready to put out tomorrow will be my first video of next year. I said I wasn't going to put out any videos on New Year's Day, but I came up with a couple of thoughts that I really wanted to express, and I didn't really want to write down ideas and try to work off of a notepad, so I went ahead and proceeded with making this video as the last video of the year, and also posting one tomorrow on the first day of the new year. So the question for this video, ladies and gentlemen, is this: is prepping a hoarding disorder, or is prepping just living in a virtuous way? All right, so let's cover the first question. Is prepping just a hoarding disorder? Is prepping an act that people take because they don't want to throw anything away? Because you hear a lot of people, or I've heard, I can't say you have, I've heard a lot of people over the years saying that you're just a hoarder, that you're just hoarding this and hoarding that. So I wanted to go ahead and read to you guys the definition of what a hoarding disorder is. Hoarding disorder is a persistent difficulty discarding or parting with possessions because of a perceived need to save them. A person with hoarding disorder experiences distress at the thought of getting rid of these things, I would say. I'm not going to continue on. So that's what a hoarding disorder is. So can we equate that to prepping? I am going to say that my answer is no. And I'm going to explain to you why my answer is no. Because here it says a disorder, hoarding disorder is a persistent difficulty discarding or parting with possessions because of a perceived need to have them. Well, is having stored supplies a perceived need to have them? I guess that would be the question. So a perceived need means that you think you really need to have these things, right? And you find it difficult to get rid of them. So what I would say to that is no, this does not equate to prepping, because all of the things that I have that I've put away, or that preppers put away, is for a reason. And as far as not wanting to get rid of them, if you are prepping correctly, then you will be rotating your food, meaning that you will be getting rid or using up the old stuff first and replacing it with new stuff. So you're not hanging on to a particular item just because you can't get rid of it. You're actually using those items and rotating them through as you live your everyday life. Okay? So I don't consider that being part of a hoarding disorder. All right? Having a lot of things, all right, that you use. And here it says a person with hoarding disorder experiences distress at the thought of getting rid of their supplies or whatever they're hoarding. Now, as a prepper, whenever you grab a can of beans that is in the front of your, that is in the front of the row, you know, that is the next one to be used, do you get distressed over using that can of beans? I don't, because I know that I can just go ahead and replace it and, you know, resupply my stock after I've used one or however many I think is appropriate for me to be low on before I replace it. So I definitely don't think that prepping is in any way a hoarding disorder. Now, this here, I think, is the more important question. Is prepping a way of living virtuously? Now we're talking about morals. Oh, here we go. Virtuous. Having or showing high morals or standards. Okay? So, is being virtuous have anything to do with prepping? Okay, so this is how I can equate prepping with being virtuous. And please leave your comments on here, whether you agree with it or disagree with it. Just please keep it classy. Okay, please. So I want to hear your comments. I want to be able to go over these comments with you guys on Saturday's live chat. This is how I see that prepping is virtuous. What you're doing is, first of all, and I'm not just talking about food, I'm talking about all things that you prep with. Why are you prepping? First of all, there is a good reason why people prep. The first reason is this. Most people would say because my family, because I love my family. And yes, that is why people prep, mainly. But what if you don't have a family? Should you still prep? Does it mean that if you don't have a family, you shouldn't prep? Of course you should prep, even if you don't have a family. Even if you don't have anyone near you that's related. Of course you should prep. Why? Because it is virtuous. And I'm going back to where I spoke of this video or two back, where if you think you're virtuous because you believe in a higher power, but you don't prep, then what are you saying? You're saying that I am willing to just starve and die without a fight. If something were to happen where I could not gather the items that are necessary for me to continue to live, I am willing to just, without a fight, die. And we were given these lives by our Creator. If we were given these lives by our Creator, why would our Creator want us to die? Why would our Creator want us to not fight to stay alive? So I think that prepping, in order to be able to maintain your life, first of all, is virtuous. Because you're saying, this life that you've given me, you're saying to your Creator, whoever it may be, this life that you've given me is important enough for me to be prepared in order to continue to live, should I not be able to acquire the goods and or supplies necessary for me to live for a long time. I.e., I've prepped food because I want to be able to stay alive, because I am thankful that you gave me this life. And the reason I prep food is because who knows when there will be a day where I cannot attain food in the manner in which I attain it now by going to a supermarket and getting it, which is what most people do. I know a lot of people do farming and homesteading, and that's a great thing. But I'm speaking to those that may think that prepping is a waste of time. I think that prepping is a virtuous act, because not only are you able to store away supplies for yourself, okay, in order to preserve this body, this life that was given to you, but you're also able to store away nutrition for your family. And more so, you are also given the opportunity to store additional nutrition or life-saving items for other people that you may choose to help during whatever crisis it is that you may face. So I would rather take my chances committing a virtuous act that could give me and my family and my neighbors and my community a chance to survive a crisis than to shy away from that because people would like to label you as a hoarder. See, ladies and gentlemen, words may not hurt you physically, but they can change the way you think mentally. If you are not strong enough to understand that some people that criticize preppers just don't understand what hoarding is and what prepping is, don't let that take you away from your path. All right? Don't let that distract you from your virtuous path. All right? Prepping is not a religion. It is not. It's just a tool that we use in order to fulfill whatever destiny it is that we were placed on this earth to fulfill. It is a tool. And those that disagree with it, those that think that it doesn't matter what you do, that the inevitable will happen, on that part they are correct. The inevitable will happen. Okay? Everyone gets what they deserve sooner or later, whether you're a prepper or not. Okay? Everyone gets what they deserve sooner or later. However, if you are prepping, it's because your creator has given you what word am I looking for? I don't know what word I'm looking for. All right, but your creator has given you the opportunity to prepare for anything that may happen. Do we hope that something happens? Absolutely not. We rather not use our preps. But is that hoarding? Nope, it sure isn't. It's not hoarding. It's trying to be virtuous. It's trying to live a moral life. All right? And I love the word virtuous because it's so simple. Having or showing high moral standards. I love that word. Because if you do the right thing, then good, yeah, just like I said, when you do the right thing, good things happen. They may not happen right there and then, but they will happen. And like I said, everyone gets what they deserve in the end. All right? So what's going to happen will happen. But have you lived a virtuous life? Or are you sitting back watching everything that's going on? Now, I don't blame anyone that's still asleep. Anyone that lives in a normalcy bias, I don't blame them at all. All right? We all have different capabilities and we all have different capacities on what we can and cannot understand. So I don't blame anyone that's still asleep, that thinks that prepping is a waste of time. Okay? Because it's not. So don't let anyone who thinks that you're this right here discourage you from continuing to do the virtuous thing, which is to prepare for anything, should anything happen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it at that. I am actually now starting to run a little bit late for work, so I better skedoodle on out of here. And listen, have a happy new year. Okay, have a happy new year. You should be able to see this video today on the 31st, so this is New Year's Eve. Have a happy new year. Be safe. Please, ladies and gentlemen, this is not something that I preach to everyone. Please don't drink and drive. If you live in a state where cannabis is legal to consume, please don't drive while you're under the influence. Okay? I am not against anyone doing whatever they want to do. But think about yourselves and think about your families before you put yourself in a situation where you can prematurely take away someone's life or your own life because of a very, I would say, selfish act. Right? Driving while you're drunk is a selfish act. Right? Because when you drive when you're drunk, you're turning a 4,000-pound automobile into a dangerous projectile. Pretty much that's what it is. Same thing if you drive while you're under the influence. Okay? I'm not opposed to anyone putting anything they want in their own bodies. You can do whatever you want. Just be responsible with it. That way you don't end up destroying your life, your family's life, or someone else's life. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I truly do hope that you all had a great year in 2018. It's been pretty exciting nonetheless. I appreciate all of the new subscribers. Thank you all so much for being here, and I truly do hope that you have a great year in 2019. All right. Having said that, remember to be good to each other, ladies and gentlemen, because you know that when good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. For my last broadcast of the year, I want to wish every single one of you many blessings, and many blessings to all of your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.